Good morning, guys. Welcome to FYI. Welcome. So great to see each and every one of you. Wherever you're joining us from, welcome for your information. And we got lots of information to share with you folks. We trust that you are well. It's another day. It's the middle of the week already, believe it or not. The 7th day of December, guys. The 7th day of December. A couple to go. And then we'll be right on the mark. Right on the mark. Good to see each and every one of you. Good to see you guys, whether you're joining us on Twitter, you're joining us on Facebook, you guys are joining us on YouTube. We're our tubers. Good to have you as well. You're joining us on LinkedIn or any place else like Instagram or TikTok. We're so happy that you folks are here with us. Beatrice Selby, we see you, Beatrice, and June Cameron, we see you, and Sharika Phillips, we see you as well, and all the other guys who are joining us. Great to see you all here. Happy Wednesday, folks. Happy Wednesday. Busy day at our end, and we're certain it's the same way you guys are joining us from. We are going to share with you a few bits and bits of information, guys. If we get out of your face, you can go ahead and have a great rest of the day, a productive day. We're wishing you. June Cameron, we see you there. Silbert Stewart, Tessa Isaacs, Graves Andy, we see you as well. Sharika, Magnell Barrow. Magnell, how are you doing? So great to have you this end. Good morning, folks. Where are you waking up this morning? Trust is in your own house. We hope so. Some of you coming in from work, heading out to work, on your way to work. It's great to have each and every one of you here with us. We count it a distinct privilege. Folks. A number of things on the morning papers. We didn't want to waste no time at all this morning. Not so Beatrice Selby, Roger Greenwich, and all the other guys who are joining us. No time to lose this morning. A number of things on the morning papers. As soon as you're ready, guys. Yep. And it comments says no better place than FYI. I think we can use that as our hook, as our tag. Sipping some hot tea at the back here, folks, and hope you guys got something to munch on as well. Put up a cup of something with us. A cup of Milo tea, coffee tea, bag tea, bush tea. Put up a cup of something with us. Enjoy Pamela. It's interesting how these guys, how these guys package all of these tea bags and so on. It's just refining the bush. You chip up the bush, fry, and you can make your own tea bags. They got the whole kit now. They can send you the what do you call that, covers or sleeves or whatever they call it, and you can put your bush right in your thing, soak and refrigerate until tomorrow. You can make your own thing. It's amazing. It's just the refinery. But what our grandparents taught us is, all the bushes, them. Sweet broom and everything, 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock bush. It's just refined. You get now this whole variety of flavors. You see those folks come our way. You see them ambling around Stabrook Market and Border Market and so on. We have any shots at Border Market. You see them ambling around the markets and so on. And they're asking you questions. And you're also so nice. The foreigners I'm talking about. Oh, what is this used for? Oh, what is that used for? And so on and so on. Next thing you know, next month, new flavor tea bag. New flavor tea bag. What is the bag? Cappadura flavor tea bags. Yeah, they come right here, get the ideas and so on. And then they go on and they refine. And this morning I'm drinking Taylor's. Somebody gifted us this fantastic blend of tea bags. Taylor's tea bag, strawberry and vanilla, folks. It hit in the spot this morning. It's slapping real good. This morning. Yes, Bush. It's Bush. A perfect blend of Bush. They come and they get everything, your Cappadula bag, your 6 o'clock broom, your 5 o'clock dustpan, and all the various kinds of Bush. Refined nicely for us. And then hand it back to us, and you recognize it. Somebody was showing us recently on TikTok. According to our brother Glenn Lal, was showing us on TikTok that some one of those chefs were here quite recently, and about a month and a half later, the same pepper that they were sampling in bottles now in the chef name. Bottle pepper pot, folks. Like how you can spray whipped cream from a bottle, that's how you can spray pepper pot now on your bread. You all different, You see what the internet doing to us there? We're different. We're having some real struggles outside with the internet. We're different. Folks, please forgive us. Please forgive us. All kinds of challenges here. We had to switch from one network to the next this morning just to come to you. Yeah, you could spray pepper now on the bread. You don't need to dirty your hands with stickiness. So spray your pepper on your bread. No. That's something else. That's something else. That's what we are. That's what we are. I was remarking to my wife. I think we were talking something was telling me about printing, and I saw it my own eyes. I saw a news piece recently. I think it was out of CBS. People printing chicken. We're gonna show you this evening. Printing beef. You want your beef with bone? How do you want your steak? Boneless, however, the printing wheat. Years ago in Trinidad, a colleague of mine was teasing me. We were out having some Chinese food. Chinese food in Trinidad, it's like the airport. It's Yeah, Chinese food in Trinidad. And I remember him remarking that the chicken tastes like the printed, we were just making fun. Folks, the thing is real now. I don't know if some of them foreigners will close by listening to me and say, printed meat. This sounds like this. There's something here. Printing the steak. You hear me? Dylan, Wilton Blue, or in Mark. I got to go at Amici. We got to do a piece at Amici because I got to find out if part of why the Wagyu is so expensive. Maybe. you just never know. So I have to go talk with the folks now at Amici to find out why is this steak so expensive. You see this huge machine in this documentary, and you put in what you want. The coordinates to get this beef the right way. Beef. Folks, you can get beef. No, you even need a cow. You see that? We are becoming obsolete. Just now, an app might replace me. You think you're watching me, but it's some AI you're watching. Looks like me, sound like me. I become obsolete, folks. I become obsolete. You see that? An app could replace us in no time. Yes. Yeah. App, folks. You better get with the times. Printed meat, folks. Yeah, I trust you guys are great. Trust y'all. Make you look at beef differently. Make you look at beef and so on differently. And they start printing people just to watch you see. All right? Real Mingo said nothing me stomach. All right? They start printing, but it doesn't start printing people. The way some of them behave they must be printed. They must be programmed. Some of them programmed. But we gotta watch ourselves, guys. We gotta watch ourselves. Lots of things on the morning papers. Hope you folks not eating any printed anything by yourself. Printed bread. Colleague was telling me, he said he printed his phone case. 3D printing phone case. You see that? Printing phone case. You print your bed just now. You print your house. You're different, boy. Different. That's how the world is moving. Will you go with it? Or you going to swim against the tide? Remains to be seen. Lots of stuff in the morning papers, guys. Let's get right to it. Let's get right to it again. Terence Lewis, Tim Ford, Ingrid Crawford, Linda Barker. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, folks. Lots happening in the morning papers. The guys are going to put up the graphic for us. Big, so we can hide yourself a little bit. Lots happening in the morning papers. To begin with, folks. To begin with, I'm thankful for the U.S. Embassy, who has donated, they know we out of breath here with the pace the boys got we at. We out of breath on this side, the pace the boys have we out of breath, and they have donated 2 oxygen tanks, I think, 2 tanks of oxygen. Let me make sure we get the notation right. Donated 3 oxygen generators to the Ministry of Health. 3 oxygen generators to the Ministry of Health. And, thank you. Let me just start from that point. Thank you. 3 oxygen generators. This is one thing you can't have too much of. I figure in a hospital setting, it's too much oxygen. Too much oxygen. So thank you. 3 oxygen generators. Respect and manners. I hope you don't take a liver and one side kidney for these 3 oxygen generators. but we are grateful. There are no free lunches, folks. Vanessa Andrews, Candina Lynn, Inderjit, Lennox Sanderson. No free lunches. I want you to know that. No free lunches. None at all. Another issue we're following in the morning papers, guys. Another issue we're following is that the Private Sector Commission has submitted a report, its findings, right? Its local content findings to the local content secretariat. And you know, they have been talking about a number of shortcomings. One of them, local content not benefiting the indigenous people in our country. Among one of the other things was that it was taking too long for contractors to be paid. They managed to, I think, bring that down to about a month wait time, if not less. And so there was a number of shortcomings they had pointed out. On the part of legislators in the National Assembly, had made several recommendations when this bill, the local content bill, had come to the National Assembly. We said, put it into a select committee, maybe bring in some of these folks from the private sector who this thing is going to affect. They are the real stakeholders, and let's make sure that we get the best bill out there. Well, folks didn't like to listen to us. They didn't listen to us, they say, but they listen to us in local government, and they listen all of that. And now, look what's happening. Right? They didn't listen to us at all, but we're happy now to see the private sector has formally submitted its local content findings to the Secretariat. And I hope the Secretariat releases this report, and so we can all see and benefit from the content. But, you know, we were talking yesterday about lots of things that happen in this administration shrouded in secrecy. Lots is shrouded in secrecy, sorry. Shrouded in secrecy. I saw the Corsair here movement says over here, you know. The wonder of technology. Lots of the things are shrouded in secrecy, but we hope, folks, that they are going to release the findings of this local content report and the whatever shortcomings, pluses and minuses they will have detected, so that we can better the system. I think that is the aim here, that we can better the system. Yeah, I think that is the aim. I think that is the aim. Think that is the aim. Yep, and that's just one of the issues we are following. You know, folks, we can go so much further. We can go so much further if we work. If we work on these issues together, I think we can go so much further if we work on these issues together, folks. If we work on them together, and not to worry with that. Moving on, folks. One of the other issues that we're looking at in the morning papers, that being said, is the fact that the GCAA grounds this air services helicopter. Now, this one is a little tricky, right? I was kind of tripping up the guys at the back here because I was heading through some of the pre-issues, you know, stuff I wanted to talk about before we got into the morning papers. Apologies there. But now we're following, guys. The folks are the Aviation Authority, right? Gather Civil Aviation Authority, the GCAA, has grounded air services helicopter. And some of the reasons why, and I'm happy for this, folks. I'm happy for this. Some of the reasons why it could be a little shocking, because can you imagine being in a helicopter and you know some of the things the GCAA pointed out, you know, occurring. So I am very, very heartened to see the GCAA stepping up and why they grounded this helicopter. Listen to some of the reasons that they articulated. They had two breaches. One, a mishap occurred with this air services helicopter, as according to the GCAA, and it was not logged. They did not report it. A mishap occurred and it was not logged. That was one. And then two, it says an inspection found the wrong rotor blades were being used. So you know, helicopter heading somewhere, you know it's the wrong place to go turn out there. You know, that can make a world of difference. Don't tell me when we upstairs, you see. But after inspection, they found the wrong rotor blades were being used, and that there was actually a mishap that occurred, and it was not logged, it was not reported, and so this helicopter is now grounded. Is it the Venezuelan one that parked by Ogo? I'm happy the Air Services authorities working, Ghana Civil Aviation authorities working. Let us know. I over there. I think Veronica, Henry, and Dolly Anderson, Linton, and Tommy Gibbs, and Lyndon Jones, and Deborah Ann Green. So you some helicopter, it's your wrong blades, if any blades at all. They have on. Right? So please, thank you. You know, the agency is working, and you know, that's commendable. That is commendable to us, the agency working. Next up, folks. Them boys have promised crime prevention plan. My Lord. Well, you know, things tight. It's a difficult time in the economy, and folks are having lots of challenges. Too many changes on America Street, Water Street area there in Georgetown were robbed yesterday. The bandits were daring. Robbed, one of them even shot. Now this is the heart of the city. And if you measure where Water Street is, America Street, to where State House is, I think it's 5 miles. It's along the corridor. Them boys daring. This is the national capital. This is the heart of the city. And in broad daylight. And that's a busy area there. To carry out this robbery, my Lord. It just tells the times we're living in. That's why I say to you guys, be vigilant. You go out there. You know, you got your little 5 cents in your pocket. Be vigilant. Be very, very vigilant. Desperate times. And boys, desperate times. Desperate times. Be careful, folks. Be careful. Be careful. That being said, a lot of younger vehicles, you haven't paid the right tax on. It's according to the GRA, the Ghana Revenue Authority. It says a lot of folks, you know, got a lot of motor vehicles that you're not paying unentered registered motor vehicles. That's how we saw Kaitra News characterize it. Sabak News says there's a warning of vessels operating without the right taxes. The Ghana Revenue Authority is telling us that it notes in several instances where motor vessels are being imported, registered, and operated in Guyana without the payment of the applicable taxes. You don't pay a tax, you're robbing the state. You can't pay with taxes. And you know what? It's, you know, in most instances, well, the first thing, to bring a motor vehicle, you gotta get a little change in your pocket. And some people with the change in the pocket trying to cheat the system. The small one on the bottom, soon as you get fined with the 3 grams, take 4 years. But them boys who get, who shipping the tons untouched, sadly that's the system. We're trying to influence it for the better. Right? So these folks who evaded the taxes and so on, most times, it's them big ones evading the taxes because they're running you down. The small man, running you down. As a matter of fact, because you're small, you got the right change in your pocket. You're going to save up a good 10 years. You're working, and you're bringing the car from where's it bringing from now? Japan. You know, you charge 4th, 5th hand, right? But them big ones who got the dollars, they can know somebody's system for say, hey, take a little something from the side. That's what GR is complaining about. Lots of motor vehicles, they say, motor vessels, not paying the applicable taxes. not paying the applicable taxes, robbing the state. See? And those same folks, you see when they drive them fancy vehicles down the road, they say, hey, this thing in here. Right? These people are walking, don't get a big pothole. You will see a correlation between you jetting the taxes and the pothole being there. Look, these street lights are working. Every time I pass in the street light, they're working. Right? Well, it's foul the sky. It's land on the post. All right. See, it's a direct correlation. You not pay the taxes, big fancy vehicle, and you're a thief. Because you're not paying the taxes. GRA says too many people not pay the taxes. But there's none of y'all on the life. Understand, boys? It's none of y'all. None of you folks. None of you. You know, I want to say respect and manners because a Linden student of the University of Guyana is being credited highly this morning. Credited highly. I love this story because it gives us the opportunity, right? It gives us the opportunity to ask, what are you back? Right? Amin Britton, a resident of Region 10, the reports tell us he defied the larger odds. The fellow graduating this weekend from UG, as UG hosts its 56th convocation. Right? He has defied the odds because, you know, what makes his case so different is that he is visually impaired. Visually impaired. He's been diagnosed with glaucoma, right, at the age of 2. Since the age of 2, visually impaired. And he's graduating UG, right, this weekend. Graduating from UG, from the Center of Communications. Folks, what are y'all back? Jesus. Some will like a lot of excuses. I'm in Britain. We like a lot of excuses. You see? A whole pack of excuses. Why we can't do this? Why we can't do that? This fellow visually impaired and is going after. That's what we meant by pace and power. This year, you got to pursue with dogged determination those things you feel passionate about. Man says sight, who needs sight? You see? Went after that qualification, went after education to UG. Too many we say we big. Living for my grandchildren, you see? You barely just touch 40, you done sign off life. You barely just touch 50. 50, you know, T10. You know 50, you know 25. 60, you don't sign off. Right? Every day you passing down by the place looking for plot. Say, you see when I go off, this is why you bury me in. Right? 50, you have to determine what you're going to do the next 40 years of your life. You don't give up. You don't give in. Ready to show the trouble. You see? You don't behave big. Now since you get a little age, you now wrapping up your money in your handkerchief and you're tucking it. Stop it! Stop it! You know? Stop it! You say enough! Folks, let me tell you something. If you got a will, that's what them boys say. There is a way. If you got a will, I want to do X, Y, and Z. There is a way. You got a problem, chances are they don't get a solution somewhere in the world for it. People in this country still dying from chigo. You see? From betus and so on. People don't get a cure. You see, for lice and louse or whatever you call it. Don't get a cure for halitosis and so on. You go into the supermarket, you see brands of toothpaste. All kinds of things. I see charcoal, Colgate now. And when I see Colgate and charcoal next to each other, I say, yeah. But the Chinese is say, you know, Colgate, you see charcoal and toothpaste. You see, it's strange because them boys say charcoal is get teeth whiter. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical about charcoal and toothpaste in the same category. You see, somebody come here. Been about these parts and here they say, we use charcoal for whitening with teeth. You see? Watch and see. Just till you get a sweet stage branded toothpaste. Watch and see. Sweet stage flavored. Now, that's how we grew up. Them boys go out in the morning, cut a piece of sweet stage, block a piece, don't cut. Right? That's how we do sweet stage. You're going to see it just now. Refine your sweet stage and sell it back to you. Out front part, morning neighbor. So we're keeping you back. Guys, bring back the headline for us. The fella is visually impaired. All right? And fighting out there. Fighting out there. You may have had something holding you back from, getting a couple of subjects. You might have had a child a little too early or what have you. Right? You have to go off into the working world a bit earlier, you say, and you give up. You say, well, and that's when you hold on to 40 years, I never had a chance to finish school, but God, time, the good book tells us an opportunity happens to all men. 40 years later, you had no opportunity. You had no opportunity. Huh? I remember a colleague of mine, we were at university together. He was finishing up a diploma in accounting. A diploma in accounting. He reminds me of it often because I told him, I said, you got to go on from there because whether you do it or not, the time can pass by anyhow. I mean, it's really time passed by with you doing something. He went on to do a degree in management after that diploma and went on from that degree in management to do a master's degree after that. Finish that, folks. I'm happy to report the old boy got a real good job now. Real good job in the private sector. Well, quasi-private sector. Real good job. You see, real good job. Keep pushing, man. Look, big uncle out here. I'm in Britain, visually impaired. I'm fighting forward. You see, you got a setback. I want to diminish the nature, the quality, intensity of your setback. But don't give up. Don't give up. Keep pushing forward. Respect and manners. I'm in Britain out of Region 10. The man is pushing forward. Respect and manners. We can talk to him at some point. I want to hear from him himself. What drove you? What pushes you forward? What compels you forward? Don't give up. Somebody say it's nobody, it's nothing. Is it this, is it that? The amount of names I get called in my lifetime, I should have it back. Cover up in a sheet, don't even want to see daylight. Keep at it. Keep at it. That's my encouragement to you folks. When I saw this headline, I'm in Britain out here fighting. Why do it be life? All of us being given 365 days for the year. Right? You know what made the difference between you and the other man? It's how you spend it. How are you spending you 24 hours in a day? How are you spending you 365 days in the year? That's the difference maker. So let me keep pushing forward. I love this story here. Respect and manners to Mr. Britain. Respect and manners. Pushing, fighting forward. I love that kind of spirit. Love it, love it, love it. And finally, folks, one of the things we're spotting in the morning papers, in the headlines. This is the sad part now. You see? The sad part that we've got to deal with. Raphael Cadogan chopped to death in sleep after apologies there. The AI is acting up. You see, they're taking over. Just only an app going to replace me just now. God forbid. God forbid. Raphael Cadogan over football. See? Football row. Oh, you like me team? Or you think me team is foolishness? You think me team is nonsense? In his sleep, chopped to death. We value life too cheaply. You see? That's a big problem in this country. The value we place on human life. And we can talk about that a little more as we head into the morning papers. The value on human life in this country. When we talk about Auntie Betty, excuse me, and some developments in that story. Auntie Betty, we value life too cheaply in this country, folks. Too cheaply in. And of course, our thoughts and prayers with Raphael Cadogan and his family, friends and loved ones, chopped to death over a football ground. Right? And what is football can do for us now? When you that Rooney prison or Louisiana or Cam Street, and you had a chance now to reflect on why you took another man's life, you see? He is past me. He not ignorant. Perhaps you are. Perhaps you are. You take a man's life because he disagreed with you on football. You see? And I'll be still poor at the end of the month. He disagrees with you on football, and that's it. You feel embarrassed, you feel belittled, and that's it. That's it. You don't mind going to sit down Cam Street or Barcelona, Louisiana, and taxpayers' money. See? Gotta bring back the hangman. Bring him back, or her. Bring them back. Bring back the hang people. Life too cheap. All fun parts. John Jones says a bunch of ignorance. And it comes and says bloodshed continues in Guyana. Chel Pancham, good to see you. Facebook user says killing the man for nothing. Precisely. Killing the fella for absolutely nothing. Folks, we turn attention to issues happening internationally. Well, China seems to be turning a corner. Right? Ni hao, China seems to be turning a corner, folks. Jimmy's turning a corner, and this is in relation to COVID. You know they had a big protest there because of the COVID lockdown. People fed up. Fed up. It's still been locked away too long. And in Beijing, felt the brunt of those protests. And I think Xi Jinping wise up quick. Wise up quick. And now they're lifting some of these regulations across the country. There was a fire in a building that claimed a lot of lives, and it was attributed to this COVID lockdown. People being locked in. You can't leave. You can't. Very strict. That's some very, very strict policies. Right? But Xi Jinping and Pagli, you've seen thousands of people coming out on the streets, you know. Suddenly people start marching around your house and so on. Next thing you know, your walls come falling down. Xi Jinping and the Communist Party said, all right. Lifting out some of these heavy restrictions they had on the population there. And so they're telling us here out of Reuters that China is now preparing for life again. Life again. Because everything was at a standstill with these rigid systems they had in place there. Yep. In Georgia, big celebrations. The other side of the Atlantic. Big celebrations for the Democrats. For the Democrats, big celebration. And we woke up to the news and lots of projections, whether it's NBC or other places. Lots of projections that the Democrats are going to take this seat in Georgia. Raphael Warnock, they're telling us, the Democratic U.S. Senator has won re-election in Georgia. And this is against former football star Herschel Walker. Yep. And even the Edison Research Project projected this, that Warnock was going to take the seat. Well, hold the seat. Hold the seat. And they're saying now this cements Georgia as a battleground state. They wish it were different. They wish it were different, but it's a battleground state. Georgia. Love Georgia, and I just regret I didn't get a chance to see a lot of it last time I was there. But if you all invite me back, if you all invite me back. So congrats to all the folks who were rooting for Warnock. Congrats on that. If you were in the Warnock camp, rooting for Raphael, congrats to you. Democrats being a sigh of relief because in the Senate, they were kind of a little tickish down there, folks. That's one of the things we're following internationally, regionally, folks. Regionally, we told you about this last evening, but we don't think we told you that Argentina's Christian de Kirchner got 60 years rather in this corruption case. 6 years, sitting vice president. I love it, the fact that in some countries, nobody's against the law. Hold right there first, guys. Nobody is against the law. The Argentinian court handed down 6 years to Vice President Cristina de Kirchner. De Kirchner. Graft is a synonym for corruption. Did I get that right? Synonym, as in similar words? For corruption, 6 years. Right? It's one with these vice presidents, man. They can't jump over the heart, these vice presidents. Why with these vice presidents, man? She must have had some people in she living room now. You see? Probably had some folks in her living room. Who get all the support? Who handles all the agreement? Of course, it's Shakana in Argentina. Shock and awe. 6 years in jail and disqualified from holding public office. Disqualified now from holding public office. Disqualified. Right? Some folks mean business, when some folks, thanks guys, when some folks say good governance, rule of law, and transparency, they actually mean it. Well, you could judge for yourself if you live where we live. Susan Washington, Chel Pancham, you can judge for yourself. Paul Anthony, Joan St. John Prasad, you can judge for yourself how things operate where we are. You're seeing things plain as if with your own eyes. Then by say, you really see that? You see a woman bite a policeman. You see a man beat up a woman in a supermarket. Yep. Makes no difference. Makes no difference. In other news from the 592. In other news from the 592. From the 592. We spoke about this yesterday morning. We're happy to report some action. Karen Mickle reported that she's left an abusive relationship with Lyndon Parks. And he continued on 2 occasions at least to abuse her physically. And rightfully so now, the police have stepped in. The police have stepped in. Rightfully so. The police have stepped in. And now they're going to do their work and let the law take its course. Folks, we know nobody. We don't own nobody. Right? Nobody's a child or your animal or anything like that. And even in that respect, there's no reason to abuse. She said she suffered at his hands for about 18 years. No pun intended. She has suffered at his hands. She built up the courage to walk away, as you should in those circumstances. And 2 occasions, you see? And he expects her to love him. Jesus have mercy. It's a pathology. He needs help. And I hope the law gives him the help he needs. What by you side, folks? Y'all got a story for us? Let us know. If you got a story for us, good folks, let us know. Let us know. You got a story for us? Something happening by your side? We want to hear about it. We fast. We can tell you. We fast. While you guys are at it, you got some legal needs? You got some legal needs. The Alistair Collins firm. You got some legal needs. You need a commissioner of votes to affidavits. You need a justice for the peace. The Alistair Collins firm.
For all your legal document needs and more, the Alistair Collins firm is the place for you. If you are looking to have your statutory declarations done, affidavit of income, affidavit of identity, or guidance replacing your damaged or lost passport, or lost license, you need the Alistair Collins firm. They can also help you with tenancy agreements, agreements of settlement, your power of attorney, your last will and testament, and certification of documents. The Alistair Collins firm is located at the Callion Mall, 162 Lamar Street in Georgetown between Camp and Waterloo Streets. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths to affidavits and a justice of the peace. You can also call them at 649-6410 or 685-6446 or 503-1451. The Alistair Collins firm, help when you need it. For all your legal document needs and more, the Alistair Collins firm is the place for you. If you are looking to have your statutory declarations done, affidavit of income, affidavit of identity, or guidance replacing your damaged or lost passport, or lost license, you need the Alistair Collins firm. They can also help you with tenancy agreements, agreements of settlement, your power of attorney, your last will and testament, and certification of documents. The Alistair Collins firm is located at the Callion Mall, 162 Lamar Street in Georgetown between Camp and Waterloo Streets. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths to affidavits and a justice of the peace. You can also call them at 649-6410 or 685-6446 or 503-1451. The Alistair Collins firm, help when you need it.
Yeah, the help you need, folks, the help you need. And if you need to have your products, your service, your business, your event showcase, you need to get publicity for it. That space right there is for you. That ad space right there is for you, folks. You have an event, your business, your services, your products, right there. Right there. Give us a call. Give us a call. Back to the 592, folks. Back to the 592. We've been following this Auntie Betty killing in Bushrock. Simintry Shaw, on her 85th birthday, was killed. Big conspiracy between the great niece, her niece, and the neighbor. And folks, we're learning now a new twist. This needs its own show, its own series. Mohammed Ramzan, the neighbor, he said he was approached by Auntie Betty niece. Mohammed Ramzan, the neighbor. He said he was approached by the niece. Apparently, she used to stay from time to time with Auntie Betty. Thanks, guys. He said he was approached by the niece. And the niece said she was being evicted from where she was living and needed Auntie Betty house. Just she ain't comfortable in the back room. Right? She was being evicted and she wanted the house from Auntie Betty. You see that? So she told him, this is what needed to be done. He inquired whether they had money in it for him. She said yes. And he agreed. This according to him. The confession the police said they got out of him. The niece left the back door open, according to what he said to the police. And when he got into the house, around midnight of the night in question, when he got into the house, he said he checked in with the niece, who was in the back room, and she confirmed with him that Auntie Betty is sleeping. Simintry Shaw, sleeping. The fellow said he had picked up a wood from the yard, Auntie Betty yard, as he was going upstairs. The niece said, hey, she's sleeping. And he said he went into Auntie Betty's room and braced it over. He hit her several times in her head. The lady's 85. You see? And she got a little demon on the roof that she had no plotting she demise. You see? She know she got a little demon on the roof. 85. And he said he went and he hit her several times in her head. You know the outcome. It was your 85th birthday. Right? He said he drink up a little rum on the veranda. And when it was around midnight, he went over. The niece was in the back room. She said, Auntie Betty sleeping there. Go to front. Right? But the best part, hold on. He said, in the morning as he went back home and so on, he heard loud screams from the niece. Thief, thief, thief. As she purposely stumbled on the body of Auntie Betty. You know, some of the same people saying thief is them. The man said, the killer, this murder for hire, the labor, he said he heard her screaming. And at that point, he said he left the village. Auntie Betty's niece, who he alleged conspired with him. You see, she played the part. She screamed. And alerted the community that she found Auntie Betty dead. Thieves had broken in and all of that, which was the initial report. That was the initial report we saw. The thieves had again access to this house through the back door. The niece left the back door open. The Trojan horse, right in there with Auntie Betty, eating from Auntie Betty pot. You see? But she's spending Auntie Betty money and conspiring how she can kill Auntie Betty with the neighbor.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
Yes. You think you see everything in this life? My God. That's why he said, you gotta bring back the hangman, the value for life. And a neighbor, I wonder who else this fella probably killed. The ease at which you could procure the murder of someone. How she knew he would have been willing. How did she know he would have been willing? You know, you just got a sign. You want your big auntie disappear, call 6 something, something, something. The value for human life, the ease at which they dispatch Auntie Betty. She left Baldio, surname of the niece, left the door open. Baldio is the name of the niece. Left the door open. All right. Roshini Baldio, also called Mala. Roshini Baldio, also called Mala, the great niece, the niece, left the back door open. And poor Auntie Betty trusting. Poor Auntie Betty trusting Samantha Shaw. Right? Trusting that Roshini gonna lock up. She know Roshini. Jesus have mercy. Right? Jesus have mercy. Now you see Roshini, 35 years old. Right? You see Roshini and you say, she look good, boy. And take a little playing here. You know the devil's sister, you know. You know the devil's sister. Right? She would insurance you up and take you out. You know who you play with. You see Roshini, you think Roshini is people. Roshini procured the neighbor. I don't know if it's the first killing. I hope the truth come out. Because the ease at which they went about it. I don't know if it's Roshini, first rodeo, but the ease in which they went about doing it. You got trace people like this. Was Roshini married before? Her husband alive? You see? You don't know. But the ease at which they went about, Roshini went about, did Roshini turn him? Roshini got a lot of powers. Right? Procure him, said, Samantha days numbered. She was being evicted. He said that according to the report. Starbuck News. He said, That Roshini was being evicted from where she went, and she said she can't get the house from Auntie Betty. My God. It makes you look at your neighbors twice. Right? You got to wonder who getting put out and watch you. She said she getting put out and she got to get this house of Auntie Betty. My Lord. Every time I think I can't see nothing more, nothing else can surprise me and shock me. The girl left the door open. You see, he picked up a wood from the yard, went upstairs and he hit Auntie Betty several times in her head. She's 85. Jesus have mercy. You see why we said the value for human life cheap in this country. I wonder, I didn't see them quote a figure in this report. I wonder how much she promised you. How much was Auntie Betty 85 years of life worth? 85 years of life. I want to know how much Auntie Betty can sell out. There are some people right in your house selling out. Saw a young lady on TikTok. Because her friend Glenn. Last night, she said, family? He said, what's telling me? Jesus have mercy, girl, like you read the story. She said, family is your worst enemy. Your worst enemy. You gotta be your own best friend. That's what she said. Family is your worst enemy. You gotta be your own best friend. Like you're in by Auntie Betty. You can imagine Auntie Betty woke up that morning. You see? The girl must tell Auntie Betty, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Auntie. Let me take a selfie. And she'll know. Auntie Betty will know. We're going down later. Neighbor must wish her happy birthday. You see? Wish if she see Betty more. Auntie Betty. Seven Trisha. That's the last prayer, I think. Here. Wish you live to see many more. You see? You don't know. You don't know. In the woman's house, the Trojan horse. She left the door open the night. And then Shahid gonna come with the wood. Jesus have mercy. You see? Because Roshini won the house. God, devil whispering in your ears. That's a shocker. Devil whispering in the ears. Whispering in the ears. Whispering in their ears, folks. And that's one of the things making the morning papers. That's one of the things in the news, in the headline. And the more we read about it, the more it gets into these nuances. What really happened there? Well, the police collected him, and that's part of the confession. Still looking at the madness happening at GCOM, especially in relation to local government elections. Still looking at that, folks. And Attorney at Law Royce Ford, Senior Counsel Royce Ford, Member of Parliament Royce Ford. Yes, he says a total calamity. Total calamity. What's happening at local government? Total chaos. It's total calamity. What's happening there? None of the guys have that for us. Total chaos. Total calamity. You know, the folks said that we were wrong on the list and they were ready for local government. We told them they had published the wrong list and this boundaries issue here, you get a lot of problems with it. People who are not resident in that area to vote and all of that, you change up the boundaries. People don't know where they are now, which constituency they find themselves. Right? Yesterday, during the press conference of the People's National Congress Reform, Senior Counsel Ford said, this system here is total, it's what was transpiring. Now they had to walk back that. GCOM had to come out, put the tail between the legs and come out yesterday and say we were wrong. And we need some time to fix it, which means local government election, which is slated for the 13th of March next year, is going to shift down further. They said we were wrong and we might disenfranchise people. Of course, a court case was filed that kind of pushed them in this direction because they didn't know where it was going to go. They didn't know they were wrong. Right? But they were sticking to their guns. And now they've had to bow to the pressure and come out and say, We strip it emphatically, and we can try to rectify the system. This is Royce Daly yesterday during a press conference on the chaos at GCOM.
Our preliminary investigations would have revealed that the list currently as printed and released to the public does not accurately and properly capture changes of constituency boundaries. There are persons who ought to have been in new boundaries are outside of them, and persons who are within new boundaries as published by the list are not properly so placed based on the requirements. But Adam, there's a more fundamental issue involved here rather than just simply the location of the boundaries and whether the residents or the voters are competently placed. The underlying question here is a legal question as to the competency of the local government minister to unilaterally exercise a power to alter constituency boundaries. And I believe a proper examination of the law would reveal that the minister of local government is not possessed with that authority to change constituency boundaries within a local authority area. The local democratic organs vest the minister with the power to create local authority areas, but not to fix constituency boundaries within those areas. That is a power that is devolved and vested by the Constitution and a number of supporting legislation, which vests that power within the ambit, within the breast solely of the Guyana Elections Commission. So consequently, the preparation of a list based on such an improper exercise of power by the local government minister will obviously impact negatively on the legality and compliance with the law in relation to a list. At this stage, I will say that the entire system, the entire rollout of all mechanisms necessary for the proper holding of our local government elections in accordance with the Local Government Elections Act, the Local Democratic Organs Act, and the powers vested in the Guyana Elections Commission, it is completely in shambles. It is a complete, total, devastating mess. It is an embarrassment to the country, and it's a shame that after so many months of the call for local government elections, that the first rodeo of the chief elections officer has turned out to be such a total embarrassment.
Total embarrassment, total calamity is what Senior Counsel Ford characterized what is currently obtaining at GCOM on local government election as. Because the more they try to hide the mistakes they've made, there's more mistakes being made. And more time is going to take to correct. This is Vishnu Prasad's first elections as CEO. Just come out the blocks. See? This is the fellow PPP wanted. He went through the whole farce of inviting applications. The PPP wanted him there. Right? And then put out a short statement yesterday, the People's Progressive Party, that they have no problems with extending the time to verify the names and the lists and so on. You see? They have no problem with that. Put out a short statement yesterday. Shame. They moved heaven and earth to get Vishnu Prasad there. Right? And the commissioners told us the fellow they interviewed from Jamaica for the spot as well was a superior candidate to Prasad. But of course, he wouldn't do the kinds of things the PP might ask and request. And that's another story by itself. We're going to pick up on this, folks. We're going to pick up on this. We're going to pick up on this during our podcast at lunch, during our broadcast at lunch. During our broadcast, we're going to pick up on this some more. We're going to pick up on this. Thanks for joining us today, folks. That's going to do it for us at this end. Thanks for joining FYI. For your information, we hope we shared some valid and credible information with you folks. Remember to partner with us as well. That's how we keep going, you know. Them price, making the money. We don't get a subvention, regretfully, for informing the public in the way we do on these many issues. But because of your love, your support, and your generosity, we've been out here for 2 years. We've been out here for 2 years, and now officially in our third year. Yeah, we've been out here bringing you credible, valid information only because of your love, your support, and your generosity. We've been able to do that. Right? If you find you getting this thing and you know is nonsense we're doing it, keep your money. You can spend it somewhere else where you find value. But if you find we've been doing some work and you've been benefiting, right, we encourage you to support our program via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, and Western Union as well. You need some guidance? 627-6963. We're going to see you guys back during our broadcast. At lunch, folks. Until that time, stay safe and go ahead and have a great day. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe.